In this video, we're going to look at creating the car body of the toy car. So the first thing we're going to do is click New in Autodesk Inventor. We're going to flip down the menu and we're going to click Metric. We're then going to select a standard millimeter part. Now the first thing we're going to do is do the overall size of the car. So I'm going to start a 2D sketch and I'm going to click the XY plane. We're then going to draw a rectangle. So if we click rectangle, we're going to draw a rectangle from the yellow dot up into make a rectangle. Doesn't matter which size just now, because we're going to click dimension, and I'm going to select the top line and click off it and make that 100. I'm then going to click the line at the right hand side and click off it and make that 40. Next, we're going to make a little gap for where the seat will be. So I'm going to click rectangle and I'm going to click the top line and just draw a shape, kind of rectangle square into my bigger rectangle. Then I'm going to click dimension and I'm going to click the bottom line and click off it and make that 25. I'm then going to click the right hand line and click off it and make that 25. So we've now got a square 25 by 25. Now to put this square into the correct position, I'm going to click dimension and I'm going to click the left hand side line of my big rectangle and the left hand side line of my square, and then click off it and make that 35. Next, I need to draw a line from this side to this side. So I'm going to click line and I'm going to draw a line from the right hand side of my square to the right hand side of my rectangle. Now it's important that you don't click any green dots that might show. So I'm just going to make sure that my dot stays yellow and I'm going to just click one side to the other. I'm then going to go to dimension and I'm going to make sure that from the top line to the line that I just made, I'm going to click off and make sure that that is a dimension of 10. Now that I've done that, I'm going to click Finish Sketch and I'm going to extrude this by 45. So I'm going to click Extrude and I want to make sure that I select this shape here. I do not want to click either of these two smaller shapes. I just want to click the big shape and I want to make sure the distance is set to 45. And press OK. Now that we've got the start of the car body, the next thing we're going to do is create the little gap for the windscreen. So the first thing I'm going to do is flip my cube around so that I can view it from the front. I'm then going to start a 2D sketch and I'm going to click that front surface. Next, I'm going to draw a rectangle or a square. So I'm going to click a rectangle. And I'm going to make sure that I go from the top line into my shape. Again, doesn't matter which size for just now. I've just created a rectangle that is running along the top of that shape. Then using dimension, I want to make sure that the side of it is 3 millimeters and at the bottom of it is 3 millimeters. So I've got a cube 3 by 3. Next, to put it in the correct position, I'm going to click dimension. And I'm going to go from the right hand side of the car to the right hand side of the cube. And I'm going to make sure that that is a distance of 20. Once I have done that, I can click Finish Sketch. And then I'm going to click Extrude. And I want to extrude subtract this instead of extruding. So I'm going to change the direction to flipped, make sure my distance is 45 and make sure my output is set to cut because I want to extrude subtract it. And then I'm going to press OK. Now to make space for the wheels. So again, I'm going to use the view cube to make it look from the front. I'm going to start a 2D sketch on the front surface and I'm going to use the circle tool to draw two circles. Next, using the dimension tool, I'm going to click each of my circles and click off it and make sure that they are dimensioned to 6 millimeters. Now to put the holes in the correct spot, I'm going to click dimension and I'm going to go from the bottom line of my car to the centre of my circle and click off it and make it 10. And then the bottom to the centre of this circle and again click off it and make that 10. I then want to click the left hand side of my big rectangle of my car and the centre of the circle and click off it and make that 20. And do the same with the other side, right hand side to centre of my second circle and again make that 20. So I've got two circles at 6, both of them are 10 up from the bottom and both of them are 20 from each side. Once I've done that, I'm just going to click Finish Sketch and then I can click Extrude and I want to zoom in so that I can select both of my circles. And again, it will automatically set it to Extrude Add, not Extrude Subtract. So we want to change the direction to direction 2, make sure the distance is at 45 and make sure it's set to cut and then press OK. Now we need to do the 2 circles at the top for the spoiler. So I'm going to start a 2D sketch and I'm going to select the top surface of my car. And the first thing I'm going to do again is draw 2 circles to 6. Now again, make sure you don't click any lines. We're just looking to draw 2 circles at the top of the car and then use the dimension tool to make them both 6. Now we want to make sure that these are in the correct position. So I'm going to click dimension and I'm going to go from the back left hand side line to the centre of the circle and make sure that both of them are 10 away. I then want to go from the bottom to the centre of this circle and make sure that that's 10 and the top to the centre of this circle and again make sure that that's 10. So I've got 2 circles at 6 and they're both 10 away from each side. Once done, we can then finish the sketch. I can click Extrude and I want to click both of my circles and this time I want to change direction to 2 flipped, but I only want to make the distance 10 millimeters. And then again make sure that the output's set to cut, so we Extrude Subtract it and press OK. Last but not least, we need to add a chamfer to 3 of the sides of the car so that we can create a kind of angle. So I want to go up to modify where it says chamfer and I'm going to change the distance to 5. And the first 2 lines I'm going to click are at the front of the car. So I'm going to do the top and the bottom of the front of the car. I'm then going to just use my view cube to view it from the back and I'm going to click this back bottom line as well. And you can see now that is the car body completed. So I can now go to File, Save As, and I can save it as the body of the car in my technical folder.